What's going on, people? Get started here in a second. Let me get my phone lines open just in case you guys want to call me up. The number is on your screen. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Time to get back to work. Last week in the trade, man, last week was epic. It was epic. 700 pips. Normally don't do that many pips. So you gotta definitely take that and bag that. Take it to the bank. You don't normally get those types of weeks. Let me do a roll call. Dilemma Beats. What's going on? We got Crypto Nans for LTC. Good evening to you too. Patrick Drummond. That's my guy. Yeah, so today we're just gonna look over trades from last week, kind of go through that and give you my analysis on this coming week. Coronavirus is still a big issue in the markets, and I'm going to just talk about that. I'm going to give you my 2 pips on that situation. I think, to be honest with you, I think we're going to be in for a very bad next 2 months is going to be horrible in the equity markets, and I'm going to explain why. And I'm going to explain why QE, repo market, all that stuff will not work. So, not giving financial advice, just giving you my opinion on it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, and we're gonna get started right now.
Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Okay. Ready? Fucking thing sucks! We'll do it live. Okay.
What's good? It's your boy, Crypto Blood. Yo, later tonight, I'm actually gonna be on Bitcoin Ben's channel. That's gonna be dope. We're gonna talk crypto, we're gonna talk Trump. We'll talk a lot of stuff, I guess. He hit me up earlier. So that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're around, definitely join in for that one. But welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to look at my trades from last week, tally up those pips, and I've got a few things that I want to show or talk about. I got some articles, but talk about basically this coronavirus and the impact I think it's going to have on the markets, man. And it's going to be interesting to see how Bitcoin reacts to this. We basically blew through 10,000. We got almost to 10,002, pulled back a little bit, but I think that's more so because of the halving coming up in May. We're less than 100 days away from that, so it's a lot going on. I don't even think coronavirus is even priced into Bitcoin, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens. But Will45, what's going on? What is going on, guys? So let's get into these charts for today. Yes, indeed. I got some charts to show you. So basically from last week, we'll start from, one thing I have to mention, I've got 2 more pairs added to the algo. We'll go through those as well. I started trading those on Thursday, so we'll take a look at that as well. The 2 pairs I added was the Aussie dollar, no, I'm sorry, the Aussie CAD pair and the Swiss Japanese or Swiss yen pair. So we're going to take a look at those as well. But first, the euro yen. That's the first pair. Now I normally do not keep any of my positions open over the weekend at all. You never know what could happen. I told you guys this many times before. Do not keep positions open over the weekend. If you do, have it be like a very small percentage of your portfolio, like maybe 20% risk of your entire, what you would normally trade. But you do not want to keep trades open over the weekend, because you could have a gap up, you have a gap down, and you could really mess yourself up. Christopher Ladd, what's going on? We got my man, the tech geek, in the house. USGI, what's going on, man? Hope you guys are doing well today. So yeah, first pair did about 58 pips roughly last week on the euro yen. So as you guys can see, the halo area demarks the end of the previous week, or you can kind of consider the beginning of the new week. So we went long on the 4th for some nice gains there. Took profit 30% off at that dot, that white dot. Remember, the white dots denote take profit areas. Went short and took some profit here, and ultimately took all the trade off right here on that one. That was about altogether 45 pips roughly right there. This first one was about 41 pips. All right, and then toward the end of the week, we did have some whipsaw action going on, but we ended up going short again and closed the position out right here. So it was not too much of a, maybe like 5 pips. Yeah, 9 pips on that trade right there. So at the end of the day, 58 pips total. Bitcoin being in the house, what's going on? Yeah, I'll see you in a little while, man. I'm very excited to get on there and chat, man. It's gonna be a great conversation. So as you guys can see here, 58 pips on the euro yen. We'll go to the next one, pound yen. 85 pips last week. Let me just scroll back so you guys can see this. Where did it start? For some reason it is not. Let's see, reset chart. I don't know why, guys, this is not loading any more of the bars here. This is weird. This goes back to February 4th. So what was the end of last week? Started on the 8th? No, the 2nd. So for some reason it's not going back all the way. So I can't give you all the sequence of trades. But I believe if I look down here in my list of trades, I'm able to see it goes back to the 3rd. That would have been the first trade. I'm not sure why it's not showing up on the actual chart, but it is tracking the actual trade. So at any rate, uh, 85 pips for the pound yen. Nice trades. They really gained a lot on the last trade of the week. On Friday, we went short and closed out at 72 pips. So that really actually brought me back into the green big time on that one. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. We've got the pound Aussie. See if I can scroll back on that one. Okay, this one works properly. This was a really big week for the pound Aussie. I'm telling you guys, 195 pips out of the gate on Sunday. We went short, and look at that. Now, as I told you, on the short side, you see the yellow dots. Those are take profit points. So I actually ended up completely out of this position by this trade, like right here, or I should say this line, this dot was the last take profit, because it's all based on percentages. So I didn't get any of these, but if you take a look, it really didn't, probably averaged out to about the same anyhow. I just like to lock in those gains, because you never know, you can have the market move against you and you kind of lose a lot of that profit. So I locked in those gains. Can't get it all, people. You cannot get it all. So good trades for the pound Aussie this week. Only did 2 trades, a short trade and then a long trade here, which didn't net me that much. Unfortunately, my take profit algo, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see, at one point, I think on Friday, I was up over 100 pips. Yeah, 140 pips at its height. All right. Unfortunately, it took back all of those gains, and I did not take any profit. The take profit algo did not flag a take profit. I was hoping that it would. It met my criteria to start searching for a take profit. I have it where it draws this dotted line, and essentially this dotted line is just saying, okay, we're X amount of pips in the green. Now start looking for take profit. Unfortunately, never did get one. You're not going to get every one, but I would have liked to definitely have locked in some profits. Now, I did do a manual take profit. I do recall doing 20% take profit here. I forgot about that, and I talked about that in the previous video, guys. What's going on, Travel? How are you, man? I did take 20% off here, and that was just because that was an area of resistance. And so that's what you have to do when you're trading. Even if you're, for me, I have my system and I coded it, right? I took my system and I pretty much just coded it the way that I wanted it to trade, my how I like to trade. Even with that being the case, it does not know when I have areas of resistance or support. So I have to manage that myself. And so I did take profit at this point, right against that area of resistance. So got a little bit, but it would have been great to get some more from the automated system. So 195 pips on that one. Next one, pound dollar. Again, Sunday started off strong. We went short. This was a big trade. 150 pips there to start the week on the pound. That was great. Tried to go long here. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see this. Let me zoom in. So it went long here, ended up reversing course and trying to go short here, and then went long here. So the next candle I literally went long. So short, then closed that and went long. And that long position took me all the way to here, which wasn't much of a, didn't make too much money on that one. That was a dud. But we did go short, and that was a good trade there. 65 pips. I'll take it. I'll take it. John Hill said he got tapped out on that CAD trade. Which direction did you go on that trade, man? I can't get my algo to work on that CAD dollar. I just can't, for whatever reason. It won't model well at all. So that's where we are with that. I did open the position back up after when the markets opened at 5. So I'm back short on this pound dollar trade. So we'll see how that goes. the next one, Euro Pound, 60 pips for the week. Nice trade here out the gate for Sunday. Made a nice long trade there. That was about 80 pips. Short trade covered there. That wasn't much. And then we went long here. I think that's it on this panel. Did we go over the yen? I don't think we went over yen. So yen was the latest pair that I added from last week. That was a new addition from last week. So that was my 6th pair. And that netted 100 pips. So I'm glad I did implement that into the trading strategy. So that was another 100 pips. Big move here, guys. This was a nice move up. 130 pips on that long position. You see the dots. I think after the third one, I was pretty much nearly out the position. I think after this last one was the last trade. Honestly, I didn't wait till the full close of it. So good one there. Jesse James says Tesla, Algo going cray or intervention to save SoFi. What do you mean, man? Last I checked, I don't know if you saw my tweet I put out over, it was that Thursday. I said in extended hours or before trading started, I said, you know, short 10x short Tesla, and that was at like 900 and something bucks. And the following day, I'm like, close out, you know, for like 14, 15. No, it was like 16% profit on that. So you would have made 160% on that trade. So I don't know. I think it's still heading down. I don't know. I have to check, but that's going to end very badly. That whole Tesla situation, that is going to end so badly. I don't know if you guys heard, but Robinhood had, I think, 21,000 accounts buy Tesla for the first time. Crazy. I think that was on Thursday or Wednesday. So those people got slaughtered. I think Tesla was down 30% from its high of 960 or something like that. So, you know, the herd always gets in last. When you have everyone going crazy over, it doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, if it's a particular stock, if you're barber, and it's nothing against these people. I'm not saying that they're stupid or anything like that. But if you're barber, your taxi cart, you know, your Uber driver, people who don't do this for a living, if they're saying I'm buying this, I'm buying that, just like with the real estate boom, you know. You guys remember, you had everyone and their mama talking about they were real estate investors. When you have that situation, you need to run for the hills. And it applies to stocks as well, to be honest with you. So let's take a look at the new pairs that I added. And I'm very excited about this because I actually added I've got 2 new FX pairs. And I've also got Bitcoin. I've got Bitcoin trading on the 5-minute over on my over on the FX broker. So we'll take a look at that pair as well. But the first one is the Swiss yen. And again, I only was able to get a trade in on Thursday. Now it shows here this trade was put in, I think this is like Wednesday. But again, it was channeling like this, and so by the time I was ready to roll out this algo, I ended up just entering the trade here on Thursday. It was somewhere around here. Okay, and so I rode that down all the way. It's a nice short there. From here down here, 50 pips on that one. And then we've got the Australian CAD, which again, I was only able to make this one trade. So this is wrong. Let's just say the 3rd, or I'm sorry, no, this should be the 6th, I think, or 5th. Let's see if that does it. Yeah. All right, so the one trade reflects 82 pips on that one. So again, cumulatively 700 pips, man. It was a good week, guys. Definitely a good week. But one thing you have to understand, you have a good week like that, what does the market try to do? It wants to take back some of those pips the following week. So just don't overtrade your account. Keep, if you want to up your lot size, do that proportionately. Don't overtrade it. Don't go crazy now. Keep discipline in your trading strategy and your trading sizes, I should say. That's the number one reason traders fail, is because they overtrade their accounts. If you have no money, you cannot trade. If you have no gas in your car, you cannot drive your car. So just remember that. Protect your ass, protect your assets, and up your trade sizes, incrementally in a proportionate manner. Don't go crazy with it. So those are the 8 pairs I'm trading now, which is crazy, but that's good. I was telling my buddy, I'm like, with the whole automated systems, you want to leverage that ability, right? I personally could not manually trade 8 pairs. It would just take all day. It would be too overwhelming to try to track and figure out which trades to enter, to exit, to all that over 8 pairs is just impossible. So, that's why I'm leveraging and actually looking for even more pairs to add if possible. Unfortunately, CAD is not one of them. US CAD, not one of them. Can't get that thing to model my algo correctly. So let me just show you a sneak peek at the Bitcoin one, though, that I'm going to start trading on the brokerage account on Trader's Way. As you guys can see, very, very profitable on the 5-minute. Now, the one that I have for the trading room is on the hour. That's on the hour chart. So this one is a little bit more aggressive as far as the number of trades. It's trading on the 5-minute. So I'm going to test this out over there on Trader's Way and just see if the fees, I think the fees are cheaper, but I just need to see it in action to just see if it's cheaper than BitMEX, but I think it is. But we'll see how that pans out for this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the trades. But I do want to show you guys what's going down for this week. This week is going to be pretty big. Jesse James says Enron. Absolutely. It's Enron, bro. Tesla is Enron. And it's nothing against, listen, there is nothing. I love Elon Musk. He is one of the brightest CEOs we've seen in a long time. The guy is a genius. He really is. Like, for him to just say, oh, I want to build rockets, and to see where he's taking that whole program, insane. But Tesla is not, SpaceX is not Tesla. I don't know if, I wouldn't say the markets are pricing in SpaceX with Tesla, but they're pricing in Elon Musk. That's what they're doing, and it's totally wrong, bro. Like, Tesla is worth GM, I think it's GM, Ford, and some other company combined, and they make a fraction of the number of cars. If you do the numbers, it's like the number of cars they make, it comes out to like $300 and something thousand per car in revenue. That's what it's supposed, like, if you take their price, their stock price, it's like it's like 300 something thousand per car. It's just insane. You take their market cap, I think it is, and you divide that over the number of cars, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's see here. Jesse James said, Mr. Bud, tell us what you expect to be the bigger move this week, up or down. And which are you talking about? Equities, or are you talking about in FX? Let me know, Jesse. Yeah, let me know. So this week, though, this is what we need to focus on for this week. If you're trading FX, you have to understand that the dollar is going to be king. It's king dollar again, people. Flight to safety. You're going to see treasury yields go lower. You're going to see treasury prices go higher. It's king dollar, people. Unfortunately, I know a lot of us think the dollar is trash, and yes, it is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. However, it's all relative. The dollar is the best fiat currency that you can own right now. It just is. It has the most demand, right? When there's a crisis we have a crisis, the coronavirus. When we have a crisis, the world flees to the dollar. All right. So that's what we have to keep in mind. So going forward for this week, you want to look for positioning yourselves in the FX market, at least probably on the side of the dollar in general. I don't know what your trading strategy is, but just at least keep that in mind. Like, there may be some shorting opportunities in the dollar this week, but I would look for long positions, or positions against other pairs where the dollar is you'll be buying the dollar against that particular pair. So that's what I would do. Pound yen is another flight to safety. So the euro, the pound yen, not the pound yen, I'm sorry, the yen. The yen is another flight to safety currency because of the carry trade. So the dollar and the yen are the two that you definitely want to look at. So let me see here. Patrick Drummond says, don't you want a Tesla? Nah, man, I never wanted a Tesla. Never wanted a Tesla. I'm an Audi and Porsche guy. Tesla to the moon. Literally, Tesla to the moon. Elon did put a Tesla in space. The guy's a genius. I'm not taking that away from him. But the valuations are just insane on Tesla right now. Got to come back. Has to come back. It's doubled in 2 months, people. Stocks don't double in 2 months off no news, like no fundamental, nothing. I mean, I guess you could say, maybe Wall Street got a little ahead of themselves, seeing that they thought that the China factory was opening, the Tesla China factory. But as you see, coronavirus is delaying that. So you want to be long dollar simply because of the coronavirus, in my opinion. He said, watched Bethany McLean trash Tesla. It was pretty eye-opening. I don't know who that is, bro. Who is that? I'm not sure who that is. Never heard of that person. No, never heard of that person. So let's talk about what I see going down the next 2 months or so in the stock market and in the global economy, period. I think we're at a pivotal point. I'm actually kind of concerned, and the only reason I'm concerned is if my thesis about the coronavirus is true. The numbers I'm seeing, the footage, I'm sure many of you have seen the footage that I'm seeing on the online, and hearing people report that are over there saying that this is well worse than what they're reporting. 800 people dead? No. Try 30,000, 40,000 people dead. The crematory running 24/7. So if this is the case, we have a real problem on our hands. And the reason we have a real problem is because China, all of supplies most of our goods. right? From consumer goods to medical good equipment and supplies and stuff. Auto parts. If they're not shipping, if the supply chain has been severed, it takes time for that to kind of, propagate through the economy. But I think in the next 2 months, we should start seeing that supply shot show up on our shores. So you're going to see Amazon, Walmart, like people aren't going to be able to order new products if China is still shut down the way it is, if things continue to get worse. So I'm seeing the stock market will have to come to grips with this coronavirus. They're able to currently brush it off. China last week, at the beginning of the week, dumped in, I think, almost 200 billion, 100 and something billion in liquidity to the markets. That boosted all markets across the board. So that's going to wear off once these companies start to really have to report on not this quarter, but next quarter's earnings, and they're showing a drop in revenue because they don't have the stock, they don't have inventory, a target inventory. How can they get more inventory if they're not shipping stuff from China? So I just see in the next 2 months, I'm very concerned this is a caveat, if the coronavirus is as serious as I think it is. So we'll have to see what happens. Travel Behemoth said on Real Vision. Oh, I love Real Vision. I'll have to check that out. Oh, I've seen that. I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about, bro. I don't know if it's a new one, but I saw the one she did maybe about 6 or 7 months ago, something like that. Yeah, unfortunately though, she looks wrong right now. That's what's so crazy about this whole stock market and Tesla. Like, everything she was saying was spot on. Everything she was saying was spot on. So Crypto Alien said Tesla is acting like crypto. Exactly. Insane. Yeah, the fundamentals don't add up. You're right, Crypto Alien. Absolutely. Absolutely. Launching a Tesla into space was crazy, surreal, brilliant, and great PR. Absolutely. Elon Musk is the smartest dude, man. I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, me talking about Tesla being overvalued is not a dig at him. That guy is a genius. Crypto Nana said, need to reopen some American factories too. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if we do that, Crypto Nana, unfortunately, prices have to go up. I'm for it, but is the American consumer ready for prices to go up the way that they would have to go if we bring everything back home? Crypto Alien said Vietnam is already economically feeling the effects from coronavirus. Yeah. A lot of the countries surrounding China, mainland China, they're really feeling it. She has her own podcast too, where she goes into it. Drop a link to that, Travel Behemoth. I would definitely like to check it out, man. I didn't know she had a podcast. Crypto Nana said Hyundai shut down in South Korea due to supply chain disruption. See, that's what I'm saying, Crypto Nana. I see that hitting us soon. Like, it's not going to happen right away. It's going to be a delay of a month or two, or maybe more. I don't know. Like, I'm not an expert on supply chain. I'm just using common sense, though. At some point, it's going to show up. I love Elon too, but this is business. Sharks are in the water. Gotta take one for the team. I feel bad for the shorts on Tesla because they're right. They've been right. They were right when there were some big activists, some short only firms that were shorting Tesla back when it was $230 to $300. And the reason why they were shorting was absolutely correct. But we're in a bizarro world right now. So let's take a look at this gold price rally. This is out of the daily FX. So they're saying that they think gold is going to continue to rally. And then we have something out of, oh, this is it right here. So the US dollar, Dow Jones, gold prices, euro, British pound, markets ahead. So they're saying that the sentiment in financial markets most likely recover after fears around the coronavirus wrecked equities across the globe. Yes, it recovered because of liquidity injections. That's what you're failing to mention here. So this article out of Reuters talks about the enemy of mankind. This is what someone out of China, I believe, was talking about as far as labeling corona. You know, the death tolls have topped SARS. And the thing about it is, to me, guys, is not the fact that it's topped SARS death toll. It's in how fast. This is, I think SARS death toll was 700 or something, but that was over, I believe, like a year or two, or I can't remember. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was over like a year or so. This is in 2 months. So I'm not trying to be fear mongering or anything like that, but this is something we should definitely, even if it doesn't spread, the actual virus doesn't really spread to the US like that. Again, supply chain issues will spread to the US, and I'm just interested to see how Wall Street deals with that, man. I'm not too sure. So again, dollar is king. That's what this article from Mark to Market is talking about, and I have to agree. You know, it says once again the US appears to be diverging from the world with its large and mostly closed economy. It is perceived to among the best position to escape the newest shock with minimum economic impact. Euro cannot get out of its own way, they say, and the real sector data have been, or not confirmed, I should say, the improvement in sentiment indicators. This is little doubt. Let's see, Japanese economy contracted in Q4, but recovery spurred by the government stimulus in preparation for the Olympics may not be sufficient to pave a rebound in Q1. We'll see. It goes on to talk about the dollar index. So yeah, the Dixie guys, the dollar index rose every day last week for the first time since last July. It pushed through the highs set last November around 98.5, which also corresponded to the 61.8% retracement on the fib, which was in Q4 of 2019's sell-off. The next target is near 99, and the October 1st high around 99.65. So they're saying that the MACD is still heading higher, though it is in overextended territory. So that's how I would play it. I'll leave a link to this so you guys can see some of the other pairs they're going over in this article below. But the one I really wanted to highlight was King Dollar Index. You know, that's gonna determine. And it's funny, as this article states here, that the dollar index rose every day last week. What happened last week? Stimulus. We had crazy stimulus last week. So, like I said, people are fleeing to the dollar. It's going to reflect in the 10-year bond, and eventually stock market has to revert to the mean, and it's gonna look ugly. It's gonna be ugly. It really is. Let's see what we got in the chat room really quickly. Let's see. Travel Behemoth said making a killing with Bethany McLean. The link is too much. If you get on the page, it's on it's one of her first podcasts, so you have to scroll through. It's free. Okay, definitely we'll check it out, bro. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to go over this week. Again, I think dollar is going to be strong, or continue to be strong going into the week. Look at the pairs that are correlated with the dollar if you're trading those, and probably position yourself overweight the dollar in those particular trades. So just keep that in mind. Vegan Power in the house. What's going on, Raw Power? Thanks for joining in. I'm actually wrapping up here now, so kind of late on that, but thanks for checking in with me for sure. So guys, again, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell, all that good stuff. You know the routine. All right, I'm out of here. Holla. Oh yeah, see you guys over on Bitcoin Ben's channel, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm out. Holla.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.